Ever heard the one about the city that refused to be conquered? No? Well, buckle up, history buffs. We're taking a trip back in time to the years 717 and 18 to the heart of the Byzantine Empire, the city of Constantinople. This city stood as a shining beacon of civilization, but it had a rather unwelcome visitor knocking on its gates. The Arabs under the Umayyad Caliphate were hell-bent on adding this jewel to their empire. But Constantinople wasn't about to roll out the red carpet. No, sir. The city had a few tricks up its sleeve. The Byzantine defense was a spectacle of innovative military tactics. They had the foresight to stockpile food and fortify their walls, ensuring they could withstand a prolonged siege. But it was their secret weapon that really turned the tide. Enter Greek fire. Sounds like a fancy cocktail, doesn't it? But trust me, it was far from it. This was a secret incendiary weapon that could continue burning even on water. The Byzantines, being the savvy lot that they were, used this to devastating effect. They'd launch it from tubes, creating a flamethrower effect that repelled the invaders. Imagine the shock on the Arab faces when they were met with fire that water couldn't quench. This siege was a battle of wills, a test of grit, and a demonstration of the lengths a city would go to defend its people and its pride. Constantinople held its ground, refusing to bow to the invaders. And the Arabs? Well, they had to beat a rather hasty and embarrassed retreat. The siege of 717 to 18 wasn't just a military standoff. It was a testament to human resilience, to strategic brilliance and the power of innovation. And it's a stark reminder that even the mightiest of forces can be brought to their knees by a determined defense and a secret weapon. So, the moral of this story: never underestimate a city with a secret weapon up its sleeve. Next up, a tale of a Holy Roman Emperor who decided that enough was enough. Picture this. The year is 955, and Otto I, a formidable figure of power, takes a stand against the marauding Magyars. These nomadic warriors had been a thorn in the side of the European continent for far too long. Otto, brimming with determination, brought together his forces for a decisive showdown at Lechfeld. This battle was more than just a clash of swords and shields. It was a statement of intent, a demonstration of Otto's resolve to secure the borders of the Holy Roman Empire, and secure them he did. With a resounding victory, Otto not only quelled the Magyar threat, but also paved the way for the empire's expansion. This momentous battle reshaped the landscape of Europe, and that, my friends, is how you secure an empire, Otto style. Ever been caught in a power struggle? You've got nothing on the 11th century papacy. Picture this. You're the Pope, the spiritual leader of the Western world. Now imagine you're a secular ruler, a king or emperor with lands to govern and people to rule. You both have a vested interest in who gets to be a bishop, an influential position with spiritual authority and secular power. The Church wants to make these appointments to maintain spiritual purity and integrity. The secular rulers, on the other hand, want a say because bishops often controlled vast territories and resources. This tug-of-war was the Investiture Controversy, a power struggle that rocked the 11th century. It was a pivotal moment in history that led to significant political and religious reforms, including a clearer separation of church and state. So, next time you're stuck in a power struggle, just remember, at least you're not trying to appoint bishops. Our next tale takes us to southern France, where being different was, well, not exactly embraced. Here we find the Albigensian Crusade, a tragic narrative of religious persecution and consolidation of royal power. The Cathars, perceived as heretics due to their dualistic beliefs, found themselves at the sharp end of this crusade. The Church, feeling threatened by these so-called heresies, took action. And what an action it was. Pope Innocent III called for a crusade against the Cathars, a call answered not just by the Church's knights, but by northern French nobles eager to extend their influence. The crusade, which lasted for 2 decades, was marked by brutal violence and mass burnings. But beyond the bloodshed, it also led to the strengthening of the French monarchy in the region, setting the stage for France's evolution into a centralized state. So, the Albigensian Crusade, a dark chapter in history, but a chapter nonetheless. Ever wondered what happens when East meets West? Let's just say, it's not always a friendly exchange of cultural pleasantries. Picture this. 13th century, the Mongol Empire is on the move, its sights set on Eastern Europe. Led by fearless warriors like Genghis Khan and Batu Khan, the Mongols weren't just interested in a spot of sightseeing. Oh no, they had bigger plans. The Mongol invasions changed the face of Europe. Their rapid expansion sent shockwaves through the continent, shaking up politics and trade in a way that hadn't been seen before. They introduced Eastern Europe to the Silk Road, the legendary trade route stretching all the way to China. This sparked a massive cultural exchange, bringing Eastern goods and ideas to the West. But it wasn't all sunshine and silk. The Mongols were ruthless conquerors, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. But as they say, history is written by the victors. The Mongols, they came, they saw, they definitely conquered. And now, for a story of how one man, one army, and a lot of longbows changed the course of a war. Picture this. The year is 1415. Henry V, the charismatic King of England, is leading his men against the French at Agincourt as part of the 100 Years' War. The odds are against them. The French army is larger and better equipped, and the English are tired and hungry. But Henry, ever the military strategist, has a secret weapon, the English longbow. These longbows were extraordinary. They could launch arrows farther and with more force than any other weapon of the time. In the hands of the English archers, these longbows turned the tide of the battle. Despite being outnumbered, the English devastated the French lines, causing chaos and panic. The result? A stunning victory for England. This battle underscored the power of the longbow, revolutionizing medieval warfare. It was a game-changer, altering the course of the war and leaving an indelible mark on history. Longbows, the medieval equivalent of a game-changer. Ever had to fix a major mess? Well, the Council of Constance had a doozy on their hands. Picture this. The Western Schism has divided the Catholic Church with not one, not two, but three competing popes. It's a spiritual tug-of-war, and it's causing chaos. Enter the Council of Constance, convened from 1414 to 1418. Their main goal? To bring unity back to the Church. And boy, do they have their work cut out for them. But they're determined, and they get to work. It's a long 4-year process, but eventually they manage to get everyone on the same page. The result? The election of Pope Martin V. And with a new pope comes significant reforms designed to prevent such a schism from happening again. So remember, folks, even the biggest of messes can be cleaned up eventually. And for our final tale, an empire falls, another rises, and a new era begins. Picture the year 1453. The Byzantine Empire is at its twilight, and the ambitious Ottoman Empire is on the rise. The great city of Constantinople, a beacon of Christianity and a crown jewel of the Byzantine Empire, finds itself under the fierce gaze of Mehmed II, the young and determined Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. With a keen eye and an unquenchable thirst for conquest, Mehmed II unleashes his formidable forces on the city. The Byzantine defences crumble under the relentless onslaught, their once invincible walls now mere rubble. As the last bastion of the Byzantine Empire falls, the Ottoman Empire rises from its ashes. The conquest of Constantinople marks not just the end of the Byzantine Empire, but also the beginning of a new era, the Renaissance. And so, as one empire's sun set, another's dawned. But that, dear viewers, is a story for another time.